welcome back to the channel, and in this video today we will be rebuilding a 1971 Ford Mustang Mach 1 DLC. Here we have our Ford Mustang Mach 1. As you can see, it is in pretty rough shape, pretty certain. Actually, I'm absolutely positive I got this one from the junkyard. That accounts for the condition. Not really much special on this besides the rarity of the vehicle and the fact that this vehicle is actually downloadable content. That is to say, DLC abbreviated. So the build structure you see will be identical to the real one. So with that being said, let's check out the specifications. So here is our 1971 Ford Mustang Mach 1. We have about 226,814 miles with a weight of 3,649 pounds. Factory tire size of 245 by 60 R15. That's for all four tires. And the factory rim type is a rim Mustang Mach 1. So it's one of its own. And just to confirm, I did indeed get this from the junkyard. Now with that being said, we do have our conditions of the vehicle down here. And the body is at 8%, frames at 1%, parts at 10%, and the interior is at 9%. So the chances we're repairing any of the body parts and almost any of the mechanical parts are pretty low. Okay, so we have the V8 Ford Cobra Jet 429 engine with a factory power rating of 370 horsepower at 5,050 RPM, 450 foot-pounds of torque at 3,405 RPM. As you can see down here, we do have a great deal of swappable options, including the most powerful engine in the game, that being the V8 2-carb OH3 supercharged. We also have the option for a more rare engine in the game, that being the V8 Hemi 446 pack, and another rare engine with the V8 Ford Cobra Jet 429. Which is, in fact, what the vehicle came with. And with that, we move on to the credits. So we have the 1971 Ford Mustang Mach 1 with a parts value of 8,937 credits, body value of 1,793 credits, performance parts value of 0 credits, condition bonus of 0 credits, buy price of 10,987 credits, has a sell value if we were to sell it right now in this condition of 10,730 credits, making a profit of negative 257 credits. So you would be losing 257 credits if you chose to sell this vehicle in its current condition, which is not unusual for a junkyard find, that is, to be losing money from selling it in its current condition. But what is unusual is the small amount of money you would be losing. Normally, it's at least 1,000 to 2,000 credits. So here we have our Ford Mustang Mach 1 in the car wash. And with that, let's go ahead and get it washed. Alright, so we did go ahead and wash that Mustang, and the body is looking every bit of what was stated in the specifications. So with that, let's go ahead and move it over to the left. All right, so here we have our 1971 Ford Mustang Mach 1 on the lift. And with that, what we're going to do is just get started by removing the body parts. Then we'll remove the engine bay parts. Go ahead and put it up on a lift and remove any tires it does have on it. Once we get those tires removed, we'll go ahead and get the mechanical parts removed from the bottom of the vehicle and go forward from there. All right, so you will see we did go ahead and get those body parts removed, and we also went ahead and removed the parts from the interior engine bay to lift up the vehicle. We got the one tire removed there was still left on that vehicle from the junkyard, and went ahead and removed all the mechanical parts from the bottom of the vehicle. With that, we went ahead and lowered the vehicle, took out the engine, put it back on the engine lid, and got started resurfacing the brake rotors on the lathe. So with that, we're just going to go ahead and weld this vehicle's frame back to OEM specification. Then we'll get started tearing down the engine, which if you were watching earlier when I was walking back, it did get mounted upside down. So that strikes me as an evil omen. And if that happened in real life, it would break the matrix. But with that being said, we'll get that started, tear down anyway, and then we'll go ahead and repair the mechanical parts, followed by the body parts. Then we'll get started with that engine rebuild. And from there we will move forward. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so as you did see, we did go ahead and weld that frame back to OEM specifications. We finished resurfacing all the rotors on the lathe, as well as repairing all the mechanical parts and body parts. We did go ahead and complete the engine teardown and the engine rebuild. So at this point, we're just going to put that engine back into the frame of the vehicle, put the vehicle up on a lift, and put those mechanical parts back in, followed by separating the tires from the rims, the shocks from the struts, and we'll go ahead and put together new shocks and struts, get those all put on, and put those tires back on the rims, get the tires back onto the vehicle. And somewhere in between there, we'll repair the rims, or should I say rim, if we're able to, which I'm pretty certain we're not, given the condition of it. But with that being said, let's get started on it. right, so as you could see, I did go ahead and get that engine put back into the vehicle, and we did go ahead and get all of the mechanical parts put back into the bottom of the vehicle, followed by the shocks and struts as well as the tires. And with that, I did go ahead and lower the vehicle on the lift, and I was able to go ahead and get the body parts added, followed by the engine compartment parts and the fluid into the engine. Now with that, I did notice that, well, you can see that the body parts are different colors, as I did get some of them from the warehouse and some of them from the body shop. So with that, we will be stopping at the paint shop here, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here's our Mach 1 in the paint shop. I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and paint this one burgundy, given the front left fender looks so good. There we go. Now that the front left fender looks even better, along with the rest of the vehicle in kind of a metallic clear coat paint finish there, we'll go ahead and get this vehicle moved on up to the front of the shop. Alright, so as you can see, we have our Mach 1 in the front of the shop now. So I'm just going to get started removing the interior parts, replacing them with new ones, and then we'll see if we can get this vehicle started the first time. Sounds magnificent. And we're just going to act like that's a powertrain. They got the mid meters. I doubted the 1970 version would have had those meters in the middle of the dash, but I could be wrong. I mean, everything else seems to be historically accurate, and since it's DLC, I'll just say it did. Let's go ahead and check out the vehicle specifications. Alright, so we do have the body at 100%, frame at 100%, parts at 100%, and the interior at 100%. Let's go through the credits here for this 1971 Ford Musting Mach 1 DLC. The parts value at 56,876 credits. Body value at 22,509 credits. Performance parts value at 1,102 credits, as I did put in that aftermarket intake onto the top of the engine there. We have a condition bonus at 25,406 credits. We have a buy price of 10,987 credits for a sell value of 105,893 credits, making the total profit, if we do sell it today, at 94,906 credits. And given I already have one in my garage, even though I'm tempted to keep two, I will be selling this today. So with that, we have 1,632,051 credits total. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click the like option at the bottom of the video. And if you would like to see more of this content, please feel free to click subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.